Hello my friends, it is your brother Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics, here to make a video about Tai Chi. Now Tai Chi is something I've done since I was a little kid. It's a great gentle workout, especially if you have aches and pains. It's a great morning routine. Now this video has been requested a lot, but there's a lot that goes into Tai Chi. You can spend years learning the minute details. So I'm just going to share a quick form taught to me by my father, developed by my father. It's most similar to Yang style, but it's not exactly the same. I'll put a time code here that goes to near the end of the video where I go through the entire form without talking if you want to watch that. But until then, I'm going to teach each individual form by itself. Here we go. Okay, so the first move to almost any Tai Chi form is called Open Tai Chi or Begin Tai Chi, Qi Si, and it goes something like this. Some people go higher, like this. That feels a bit unnatural for me. I've always gone to just around shoulder height, like this. An important note in Tai Chi is the principles that go behind it are more important than the accuracy of the movements themselves. So in this case, by beginning, we're going to stand around our feet shoulder width, like this. We're going to inhale for, say, 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale. If you can't do 5 seconds, you can do 3, 4, build your way up. But try to keep it even like this. So, in the beginning of the form, we're going to do it 3 times. So after we do that, we're going to end like this, sink a little bit as you go down, and we're going to go into our first proper form, called Grasp the Sparrow's Tail, or Lan Che Wei. It looks like this. If you have trouble understanding how to do any of these movements, I advise you to video yourself and watch it back and compare it to mine and see if you're doing anything wrong. It's also extraordinarily helpful to break up the lower body and upper body movements. So in this case, after you go down, you'll take a step back and go like this. See how the knees go back like this? And then like this? And as we work in our hands, pretend you're holding a basketball, like this. Press it in slightly. Basketball. Press it in a little bit. So right after that, we're going to take a step back with our left foot and do it on the other side. So we go from here to here. I am of the opinion that every millisecond of your Tai Chi form, you should be completely balanced. You shouldn't ever really feel like you're teetering over like this. You should just be able to be, even when you're on one leg, even when you're doing whatever. You should always feel completely balanced. After we do Grasp the Sparrow's Tail on the left side, we're going to extend our arm and go into Parting the Wild Horse's Mane, like this. Our footing will stay exactly the same. We won't move our feet, but there's an error where people lean too far forward like this, and you see how you're teetering over. You are not completely balanced. So you gotta go like this. And stay relatively balanced. Distribute the weight between your two legs. It doesn't have to be even. You can have a little bit more on your front leg, but just make sure you're not putting too much weight on that front leg. Okay, so after we do Parting the Wild Horse's Mane, we're just going to drop down like this. You see how my hand goes like this? Drop down and go into single whip. In this form again, my legs don't really move. I do kind of shift my left leg like this into single whip. So once again, part the wild horse's mane, drop down, single whip. 单边. By the way, I really like this camera angle because I don't think I have to move it for the next few forms. Okay, doke. So after we do single whip, we're gonna wrap our wrist like this, like we're grabbing a bow, and it's gonna be draw the bow and shoot the tiger. 弯弓射虎. And it's going to go right like that. As you go back, you really want to try to touch your shoulder blades, even if you can't. Just get that flex in and go back. And once again, we're timing all of this to our breathing. So it's going to be inhale for 5 seconds, 3 seconds, however long you can. Hold, and then exhale. You see the pattern? And as we end, we're going to do the fan chop. Like this. So it'll look like this. You may notice in these past few forms, I don't really change my footing. My feet stay in relatively the same place, but I do twist them, I do bend my knees, I kind of go with the movement. After we end the fan chop here, we're going to once again wrap our hands around an imaginary bow. We're going to draw the bow and shoot the tiger again. Wan gong se hu. The footing for this next part trips a lot of people up, but basically we're going to turn and step back. So after we draw the bow and shoot the tiger here, we're going to turn and step back around the same time. And when we put them together with the upper body movement, we have white crane spreads its wings, or bai he liang si. I'm not trying to be pretentious by saying the Chinese names. I know it can kind of come off that way. It just really sound a lot more eloquent in Chinese than the English translation, so I don't want to do them a disservice. So once again, this is how it looks. Spread your hands, pull them down. Kind of imagine someone trying to grab you with extended arms, and you spread them and pull them down. And from here, we're going to go into a very well-known Tai Chi form called Starving Tiger, Attacks the Goat, Mauls the Sheep. There's different variations. But let's go, it's going to sound like this. So the exhale has a specific sound to it. You don't need to actually roar, but it should have that girthy sound to it. This is how the past two forms look from the side. White crane, starving tiger. After we're done with that, we're just going to turn around like so. Draw in your hands like this, and it's going to be starving tiger again. Oh, hu yang. You want to be careful not to go too far forward again, to where you're like, oh, I'm gonna fall over. If you ever really feel like you're falling over, well, you haven't mastered Tai Chi yet. I don't know if anyone really has, but you definitely haven't if you're falling over. So, like this. So you want to stay balanced through the entire motion, like that. And in this case again, see how the footing was. Even through white crane and starving tiger, my feet don't really move. Like I'm not taking any steps. They stay in the same place as I go through white crane, starving tiger, and when I turn around, they're in approximately the same place. You don't have to act like they're nailed to the floor. You can shift them a little bit, but they are in approximately the same place. It's really the knees that bend. And if you have trouble getting it, you're like water. You're going with the flow. Back, forward. See that? Be like water, my friend. And after we go through this starving tiger, we're going to go to our last form that I'm going to teach in this video, which is the golden rooster balances on one leg. Jingji Du Li. Now we are moving our legs, but it's not really complicated. All you're going to do is you're going to turn this back foot like so, shift your weight onto that foot. It's going to be completely onto that foot. And as you extend, you're going to bring up the other leg. See this? So from here, just pay attention to my lower body like this. And finally, as we go through that lower body movement, we're going to combine with our upper body. It's going to end up with your right arm, right lower arm, perpendicular to the ground, and the other one just cupping the elbow, not touching it, just like this. So we're going to go from here, kind of draw this circle here. So your left arm is going to go like that, just left arm, and then you include the right arm, like this. And once again, balance is important. If you go like this, that's not how the form is supposed to be. We want to stay perfectly balanced through our entire form. Here's the entire form without me speaking. Yes, I did it before the sun completely set. That, my friends, is a quick Tai Chi routine that you can do in the mornings. Please practice it. Send me videos of you doing it. I would love to see that. Remember to do your even breathing and to think peaceful thoughts. Tai Chi is really a form of meditation in motion. So ideally, you would start doing it. You would start with open Tai Chi, and then you'd wake up at the end of the form. So let me know if you want more Tai Chi content. Again, I've been doing this since a very young age. I think I started learning when I was 3. So I have a lot of stuff that I would like to share if you want to hear it. I am your brother Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics. Have a beautiful day.